Hi,
Welcome to Spa Day in our house.
Yeah.
Spa Day is the day when all the kitties get their claws trimmed. As you can probably guess, Spa Day is not really their favorite day, so we try to call it something nice. Let's start with Gracie. She's the most laid back of all the kitties. She doesn't love getting her claws done, but she doesn't totally hate it either. She's pretty chill. Probably her one and only flaw is that she does not use the scratch post, ever. Not since she was a little kitten, and she's 13 years old now. So, because of that, her claws do not get sharp nearly as quickly as the other two. Don't get me wrong, she does like to have a scratch, but it's just on the carpet instead of a scratch post. Thankfully not the furniture, but sadly the carpet has paid the price over the years, and you can probably see that in some of the other videos. Thankfully, all our cats have the clearish white claws, which makes it easy to see where the quick is, because you never want to hit the quick. That part will bleed if you get it, and it will hurt. So, thankfully, I have never hit the quick, and I've been trimming cat claws for my entire adult life. Olive is the next one, and she is a little more difficult to deal with. She definitely doesn't like it, and she will squirm a little bit more. For whatever reason, the only way that she will tolerate it is when she's on her back. You can tell she's not happy to be here. Olive's claws are also the most difficult claws to cut because she's a polydactyl, which means she has extra toes. And with extra toes comes extra claws. As you can see here, there's what I call sometimes the thumb claw, which is the very outer one in the thumb or extra digit area there. And the outer claw is really, really thick. I'm not really sure what it would even look like if it ever completely grew out. It would not look like the other claws, though. But it's never been grown out. I've always trimmed it back. And it's an interesting claw as well because no matter how much we trim it back, it still hits the floor when she walks. So we sometimes call her tic-tac because you can always hear that it's Olive coming. She also has a weird little claw in between the kind of extra digit area and the main paw. And that little claw is very, very thin and tiny, but it curls quite a bit. So if we don't get it regularly, it will curl in and grow into her paw, which would be very painful. Thankfully, that has never happened, but it is something we have to keep an eye on regularly because it grows pretty quickly and it curls pretty fast. And it's also really complicated to get in there because it's a weird little trapped area. The rest of the claws are pretty simple, basic claws, and of course also very sharp because Olive loves to use the scratch posts like a good little girl. But that also means that she gets really sharp claws pretty quickly.
I know. Don't like it. This guy's gotten quite big, hasn't it? I know. I know. This one too. Sheesh. Hey, relax. You're okay. We're almost there. You're almost there. One to go. Just one nasty one to go. Good girl. Yeah, okay. There you go.
And now it's time for Betty. And of course, as you might expect from an RBF cat. She does not like to be held, she does not like to be brushed, and she definitely does not like to have her paws touched or her claws cut. So, after a lot of trial and error, a lot of frustration, and a lot of blood on my part, eventually what I figured out is that although I don't have to wrap her all the way up like a burrito, which some people do, I do have to put a blanket around her and especially over her face, and then she will kind of sit there and tolerate it. She might squawk at me a little bit, but for the most part this seems to be the best way to actually get these done. Sadly, sometimes once I've done it, she will actually kind of avoid me for a few days because she's so mad that I won.
Very good.
Betty also has very, very sharp claws. She loves to use the scratch post more than any of the other cats. So she basically turns into Wolverine within a couple of days of me trimming her claws. Thankfully, they're very simple, basic claws. There's nothing fancy about it like with Olive, so the actual trimming is not bad at all as long as I can keep her still, and she sure loves to stay anything but still.
Yeah, that one needs more, eh? One to go. One to go. All right. Got done.
And as you can see from her face at the end, she's pretty much telling us clearly how all three of them feel about having spa day.